So I had a thought pop into my head that I wanted to share. Um, my wife and I are coming up on 25 years of marriage, and we're delusionally happy. I still get butterflies when she walks into the room. I know. When people ask what makes good relationships work and last, I usually hear them talk about respect, communication, kindness, and yeah, all of that matters, of course. But I think there's something that's just as important that nobody talks about. It's the things that you don't notice, right? Most relationships break because they don't break because of one big issue. They break because of the small things that repeat over and over. If you're familiar with John Gottman and his work, he talks about this, right? Resentment builds and eventually it turns into contempt. And contempt is a relationship killer. So take a simple example. One person leaves their clothes on the floor. At first it's an annoyance, but as it keeps happening, frustration builds, resentment builds. And over time, that can damage how you see the other person. And sometimes it's the small thing like that, right, that is the breaker. So now flip it the other way. What about the person who does pick up their clothes? You generally don't notice it. There's no appreciation in the moment. There's no reinforcement of it. All that happened was that a problem didn't show up. And that's the key. So much of what keeps a relationship strong is just, it's invisible, right? Wiping up the counter, closing cabinet doors, picking something up at the store, taking care of something before it becomes an issue. You don't notice these things when they're done. You only notice them when they're not. My wife and I both do this constantly. And for years, we didn't even realize that we did it. We just built a pattern. And what that did was remove a huge amount of friction from a relationship. It solved a problem before there was even a problem to be solved. Later, a few years later, when we did actually recognize it, it created a lot of appreciation. And that appreciation compounds as well. So strong relationships aren't just about what you actively do. They're also about what never becomes a problem in the first place. So what does this have to do with sales and sales teams? There are the obvious things like comp plans, training, overall structure, but there are a lot of invisible things as well taking place, right? Small frustrations, process issues, leadership habits, team dynamics. Individually, it might seem minor, but they compound. So over time, these things either strengthen your team or it breaks down. It goes one direction or the other. If you've ever lost a great salesperson but couldn't fully explain why, it's often not just one big reason. It's a buildup of the small things. So the question is, are the small things in your organization adding up in a positive direction or are they adding in a negative direction? This is what I focus on. This is what we focus on at Kipfer Sales Management Advisors. We look at what's obvious, what's below the surface, both of those. I have over 30 years experience in sales, training, leadership, and I know how to identify the pieces that are quietly impacting your results, and then how to improve them in a practical way. If you want to improve how you lead, if you want to strengthen your team, if you want to get better results, send me a message. I'm happy to set up a quick call to talk to you about what you've got going on. My name is Darren Kipfer, and I'm the founder and owner of Kipfer Sales Management Advisors. If you go to kipfersales.com, there's a place there to contact me, to reach out, and you can read about what we do. Kipfersales.com, again, it's KIPFER sales.com. Thanks very much. Hope you're having a great day, and I hope this gave you something to think about.